The following episode is brought to you by Benro. Products designed and built to meet or exceed the needs and demands of professional photographers and filmmakers worldwide. Find out more at benrousa.com. You're listening to Filmmakers Drinking Bourbon. Hey, what's up, Internet? It's Brandon.
And this is Adam.
And we are Filmmakers.
And we're drinking bourbon.
Cheers.
Hey, cheers.
All right. Nice. The FDB bourbon cabinet barrel is taking care of us.
Man,
good stuff.
I'd like to say that it's only for the shows that we enjoy that the cabinet, but
the cabinet's getting a little low.
Yeah, it's it gets used.
It's one of the benefits. Yeah, we got some other bourbons lined up. It's been a little crazy lately, so haven't been able to get in touch with people, but we're lining them up. We got some things coming.
Good.
How you been, man? Haven't talked to you in a while.
Busy, buried, absolutely buried. It's been great. I want to say, God, for a solid couple months, I haven't.
It's good.
Yeah, I haven't had a free moment outside of jobs. So, yeah, it's been really good. It's been working.
That was good.
Well.
Congratulations on the UC project. That was
you as well.
Great
right?
job.
This is high fives all around.
Yeah, the soundtrack sounded great. I saw it on broadcast during the Olympics.
Yeah.
It sounded awesome.
I love in this world that, you know, in the advertising side of things, that you directly get to be held up against your competition 30 seconds later.
Sure.
You know, there's that moment where you watch it, and I've seen it all over the place now. You see your spot all over the place. And when you watch it, you still have that moment of, all right, how's this going to hold up to the one next to it?
Yeah.
And not that everyone plays these like aspirational, inspirational spots all the time, but to have it go up against, I think I saw a Chevy ad come on after it one time, and it gave me chills in a way that it's like, this held up.
Yeah.
This held up to some pretty good standards, and not that I ever questioned it,
Sure.
but it's just nice to get the visual and audio affirmation after it and go,
yeah.
Yep.
It was a good project, man.
It's
gotten some good things. It's probably have you guys gotten some traction off of it? Do you find that much that if you have a great project you might get some calls or some energy from it?
Some. I mean, it's usually a longer tail. You know, because honestly, to get a new client, that's where it would come from. Most of us were already working together. People just go, "Oh yeah, we knew that. We knew you could do that. You
Sure.
You didn't surprise anybody." It'll help to hopefully extend reach. A good big project like that helps us have other touch points. You know?
That's great.
Reach out and say, hey, we did some
awesome.
fun stuff. Love to do it for you.
So what else have you been up to? So you're in Alex's chair.
Yeah,
Alex
it's a comfy chair.
He's missing in action.
I know.
He is on a feature, and for those of you listening, he's on a feature in Louisville, Kentucky. Can't say who it is, but it's a major Hollywood star that he is. He actually, the other day, he called me. We were chit-chatting, and he said that it was funny because he had to tell this guy who's like a star, a guy that he's watched millions of times. He had to direct him a little bit, tell him to move 2 steps to the left or to the right. And he said it was just kind of this comical sort of moment where he was like, I cannot believe I'm directing blank right now.
That's awesome.
It was kind of funny. So
That's great.
He's doing well. We can't wait to get him back on the show and hear what he's been up to. But in the meantime, we've had some awesome guests on the show. And today, our own Adam from Sound Images is back in the saddle. And so
feels good.
Yeah, man.
Glad to be here.
It's
Thanks
good.
For having me.
So what have you been up to outside of we just talked in the open about the UC project.
Yeah.
That people have heard us talk about on the show that everybody's seen by now, and it was a fun project for us. But what else are you up to?
Yeah, so musically we it won't be out. So musically, I don't even think I can say the name of them yet. There's a gospel group that I do work with who moved in. We're going to be tracking 20 tracks of vocals, 3-part harmony, 6 members. If that tells you gospel folks out there enough. They're incredibly talented. They come here and do the tracks with us, and they get all their orchestration and everything done in Nashville. So been involved with that. I think I've done a record a year with them.
Wow.
For the past 5 years. At least a project a year. I think they do a record every other year and then like a DVD or something.
Is it like the Blind Boys of Alabama?
They're a family. I can't say it's different, right?
Yeah.
But they're some of the most incredibly talented singers I've ever worked with.
That's awesome.
It's the things they do vocally blow my mind, and it's easy
Sure.
for them. It's not easy for them. It's just they've been singing together for so long, their whole lives, and they've been singing together, and they know it so well that to watch them function as a group as well as a family blows my mind.
That's awesome.
So it's really inspiring to see that. So I've been with them the past few weeks.
Now you guys also you were in the Hollywood business for a minute, weren't you?
Oh yes.
I know you probably can't talk too much about it, but you actually had your studio had to be retrofitted, right?
Oh yeah.
Let's tell this story
yeah.
'cause this is a great story for everybody listening.
What happened? So we became just a location, right? So
Sure.
we are a studio, and we had done work for this film already before we became a location. So we were cutting vocals and doing some music work with them, and they moved in to shoot for for 2 days, and the crew, the art department, and everybody, the prep crew moves in, 2-3 days beforehand, and extremely professional. I was super impressed with everybody who came in and essentially turned Sound Images Studio A and our kitchen and our hallways into the reddest thing I've ever seen to act as Death Row Records for this film.
Wow.
And so when they transformed the place completely, so our live room in Studio A, our big room, became a lounge. There were offices set up. There were couches, big
Sure.
screen TVs. Everything was like late 90s, early 2000s.
It was
Beautiful. Old Mac computers and a desk, and they transformed the whole place. My console that I use now, I've pulled apart our console and made it kind of half digital, half analog. And we actually had to take everything digital out, and I guess essentially rehab it to be
Right.
what it used to be. So make it look original and almost function original too, or at least have the appearance. Because some stuff I took a sawzall to the frame of the thing. So the lights had to light up, all the VU meters had to light up. And what's funny about it is they're like, all the meters need to light up, and I haven't needed to use those very often, in the digital world that we work with in a while. And I had to go back to the chief engineer, who, like, one of the founders of the place, and went, "Did these light up ever? Because their lights have never been on since I moved in, or since I started here 6 years ago." He goes, "Oh yeah, there's like 2 light bulbs for each of them." I'm like, I'm going to need to find these. So we had to go out and find all these light bulbs, tear apart the back of the console, replace every single light in the whole console, just so it looked nice. And we got done, and I was inspired. I look at my room, I'm like, whoa, this is really nice. Like, this is what it was like right when it was first built. So yeah, they repainted the whole place. Production moved in. They were shooting nights, so production moved in at like about noon, maybe 2:00. And would go until early morning, and so they did a lot of work in here, and it was the last location for them too. So
Gotcha.
So I think everyone was pretty excited about wrapping up. Minor damages here and there, nothing that you can't expect from anything like that, and everyone's been super cool about the whole thing. So it was a good experience in all in all. I mean, they were pretty professional. And
was it a big crew that was in here? Was there? I mean, how many people were?
Bart could attest, and Bart and Jay were the ones who were on site for the shooting and
the filming,
the shoot. Yeah. Although wouldn't be surprised given the subject matter of the film, but no, they. Yeah, so yes, absolutely. You couldn't move around, is what they said, and you couldn't get back to the studios even if you tried. The amount of people and crew they had here,
right.
Because even then, I mean, we're a larger facility, but to pack the lights and the camera and everything into a control room definitely takes up space. I know Audio World was out at our front desk, so 30 feet, 40 feet away, no line of sight even to what's back there. So I'm sure there were monitors and and we're set there. But I mean, they weren't even close. So yeah, it was swarmed. Came in on Monday, smelled like cigar smoke and and sweaty crew, and all that.
The beauties of the filmmaking experience.
But yeah, it was cool. I mean, it's glad to see that stuff happening around here. The Ohio tax credits are really helping that out. It's really helping bringing that stuff to town. So
that's great. That's awesome. So so you've done a little Hollywooding going on. What else you been doing?
So what else? This is actually my first day in, what did I say, 2 months? Yeah, about that I actually could return emails without my clients wondering where I went to or doing it at night. Man, what else did we have going on? Aside from the standard. So we had some music that went out that we wrote, yet not public yet. Actually, I don't even know if the client has heard it yet. The agency loved it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there was a piece of music that took a couple weeks to bring about. So we had that. And finishing a feature-length film that is going to be released in September.
Nice.
Just the mix, no sound design, no Foley, just the re-recording mixer on it. So that was... It's nice to be in the role, in a way, just to have the defined role. A lot of times, what happens here is, and especially in like a mid-sized market or even small market, is they'll come to one person and just say, "Do it all."
Sure.
We need Foley, sound design, music. Can you help it? And we'll coordinate all that. And sometimes we'll just do everything and just use our in-house guys for everything. And this one was nice because they said, "Hey, we've got everything. We just need your mix on it." And so it doesn't happen often in Cincinnati where they ask that, and it's like, oh, thank you. Like, that'll be awesome. Like, let's do it. So had to do a theatrical, and it was just a 5:1 mix of a film that actually today they're picking up the mixes, and it should be off our plate until it gets, I think it's premiering in L.A. sometime in September.
All right.
So... it'll be a noisy one, I can say at that, and maybe more to come on the backstory of that one come September, because it was a very interesting project.
That's nice, man.
Yeah.
Well,
what about you? What have you been up to?
Oh, we're just hanging out. The start of school. That's the big buzz this week. School's back, and if you look on your Instagrams, everybody's posting pictures of their kids. Back to school this, back to school that.
That's tomorrow for me.
So we've been making the rounds, visiting the schools and all that jazz. So that's been good. Been DJing a lot. You know what I mean?
Can you release? Can you release
dropping
your
my
drops?
mixes? So I got two mixes now up on Mixcloud. DJ Dunn did it.
You got another one. So I listened to the first one.
Yeah.
So I listened to the
first one's called Thunder Trap.
Yep. In my kitchen, I listened to it while cleaning up the other night. My wife heard it. So we're sitting there listening to this thing, and I with no any sort of setup, with no, hey, this is Brandon's thing. And I'm just listening to it. And she's like, those transitions are really nice. I'm like, damn straight. That's
right.
DJ Dunn did it.
That's right. So
and then we had to let her know.
So it's been fun. I'm just messing around with it, but I got my new project I'm working on right now. I'll tease it on the show. It's my Soigné mix. My Soigné. Nothing but Taylor Swift and Kanye. It's hard.
I'm sure.
It's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be because, and a lot of the tracks were off her newest album, and so it's actually it's actually really dark. His music's dark. Her music, it's like a dark thing. I thought it was going to be poppy, and it's not. It's not for the kids.
She has a lot of sentiment and a lot of that. It's
it's a lot of synth. This is the synthiest mix I've ever done.
Yeah. Now, I would guess tempos between the two.
Oh yeah.
I feel like he's considerably slower than her all the time.
Yeah. So he's actually he likes it slow, but I found this mix is settling between 80 and 160.
Just double time.
So it's kind of in that realm, but the 160s are actually slow. It's just that's how they meter.
Yeah.
And so So yeah, we'll see how it shakes out.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm excited.
I figured you can't go wrong with it.
Yeah, exactly.
So
can you mix in like the Ryan Adams version?
Yeah, I hate that version.
Do you?
I think it's horrible.
Do you?
Yeah, I feel like he's making fun of her.
In a way, I don't know. It's
I don't
tough
like
to tell. It's tough to tell is
like
how sarcastic he is.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's like,
Sure.
are you down or not? Like
Yeah,
he
I'm not
says
sure.
he is, but yeah, who knows?
Who knows? So anyway, just fooling around. Work's going all right. We wrapped up our big film project, and everything at the shop over at Leap Frame is now all about animation. So we've got just a bunch of animations, explainer videos going on, and I've got probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 leads, irons in the fire on the film side, but they're all in know early development, trying to get contracts signed and move into pre-production. So I'm always in. I don't know if you find yourself in this position, but I always have a post-project funk.
Yeah.
Where the big fish, the big project that you were so excited about and you worked so hard on, and then delivery comes, and then you're just like,
yeah,
it's kind of like the dropout, and then you're the other projects haven't started yet. You got stuff in the pipeline, but they haven't started yet, and so I find that space for me is some of the darkest space. That's why I started this DJ thing. Because you know what I mean?
Something to lift you up.
I have to have a project. I have to have a side project. I have to have something going on creatively, because there's always a point where one project ends and the next one has not yet started because of all the technical red tape you got to get through. And so that lull for me is it's a hard time.
And even coming off of something high level, creative and positive, to be able to come off the need to inspire. And with the clients and the identity agency that were so positive and on board and so smooth, and everything was, I mean, I feel like on this the UC project that there was more patting each other on the back the whole time, like arm in arm, than any project we've ever been on. And at times, even just in concept, it was like, this is really good.
Yeah.
This is what we're moving with. Everyone's really excited. Next, here's the boards.
Yeah.
This is really good.
It was
whatever.
It's
everybody.
It was a very encouraging project for sure. But I mean,
come off of it.
Yeah, but not only but not only this project. For me, it's literally every project. Like my wife, it's kind of bipolar in a way. My wife always knows, like, she'll say, like, you're in between projects, aren't you? And I'll be like, yeah. Because it's just so evident, you know what I mean? Because it's just like, I don't know, but do you experience that between projects?
Well, it depends on the scope, right? The big ones, I do. I miss them. Some of the big ones, I'm like really happy that, hey, this is out and gone, and and it's gotten to fly on its own, and especially in the song world, that if you write a piece, even if it's a piece for advertising or entertainment, the minute, I think it goes for all creative. The minute you publish it, it's not yours anymore.
Well, and the fun's over.
Yeah, and it's out, so you move on to the next thing. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely there's some stuff that I don't even have time to miss. I mean, we've been through this before, where it's like it's noon, something needs to go out at 5, and it's hey, I need a quick mix. Can you make this happen? It's like, yes. I don't have time to miss those. I never actually had time to say hello.
Right.
They just go up and out. But the bigger ones, it's figuring out. And two, I have a strategic brain. I'm always thinking about what I can, how is this going to help in the long run? What can I do? So now that it's out, my brain is going, okay, well, how can I get this in front of some extra people? How can, what's the real story behind it, and how do we tell it? And so that's kind of where I'm at. And maybe it softens the blow, although maybe it like lengthens the postpartum on it. So it's a taper until award season hits, and then you go, okay.
That always gets fun. Speaking of award season, speaking of things, and when it comes to TV, I had imagined that there'd be some nominations for Stranger Things. Have you seen? Have you seen this?
It's like dying.
Well, here's the thing. Not only do you need to watch it, but you need to hear it because the music's amazing. It's all very Brian Eno, very synthy, very like ambient. It's really
cool.
good.
Yeah, I need to check it out.
That and then musically, the other one that is really fun is The Get Down, which is the new series on Netflix about the birth of hip hop in the 70s.
Ooh.
And it's Laz, I forget how to pronounce his name. He did Moulin Rouge and Romeo and Juliet. Yeah. He's the director. Actually, one of our guys on the Slack group is one of the assistant visual effects editors on the show. So we're going to try to get him to call in on the show. I've been chatting with him about it. Josh is his name. And so it's been cool to kind of, riff on him. Like, hey, man, just finished episode 3. I like what you did here. Or, I wish you guys would have done this.
Yeah, so, man, that's great. Yeah, someone definitely needs the birth of hip hop and the breaks and the complexities of how certain styles came to life due to like physical limitations of DJs. And that's beautiful.
Yeah, there's a scene where the character who plays Grandmaster Flash, he acts as this sort of sensei character. And he's teaching the young Shaolin is the guy's name how to DJ, and he's teaching him the art of the get down, right? So these break beats, and he's like, how do you do that? You know? And he's like, first lesson, young student or whatever, and he holds up a crayon. He holds up a crayon and he goes, if you can figure out the magic of the crayon in 24 hours. I will teach you, or whatever. Yeah. And so the scene plays out, and of course, they mark the breakbeat with the crayon, and it had this sort of moment, and it's great. The show's great. It's really good. I definitely have some bones to pick with it. So when we get him on the show, I'm definitely going to dig in a little bit and challenge. There's some things I don't like about it, but overall, it was great.
Yeah,
but it's fun. What have you been watching? You just still on the kid stuff? I mean, you're still pretty kid deep, right?
Pretty kid deep. Yeah, haven't dove into anything massive. I mean, I honestly have like fears of like needing to dive into another show and then go like, all right, every night once the kids are asleep, this is what I'm gonna do. And I don't know. I've watched stuff. I watched The Good Wife with my wife.
Is that a good show?
Yes,
I've heard
absolutely.
It's pretty good.
Yes, although the ending, so it ended. The show's done. And
it had a pretty big fan base.
Yes, for good reasons. All right, it's great dialogue. Reasonable.
What's it about for those who haven't jumped in, or maybe are like, hey, I'm looking for a show with the wife. I mean, So why is she the good wife?
Well, the
maybe
premise,
she's not so good.
So to give my backstory on it, I picked up at times and put it down and picked up, backed up, and then put it down and picked it back up and. I watched the end. So there's holes in my recollection of the show. But The Good Wife was basically her husband, and she's a lawyer. He's a lawyer. He was in office, cheated on her. She stuck by him. It got complicated, right? So he's, they're having separate affairs, whatever, and just keeping this political thing together, and never in a way that it ever portrayed her and or him as like the one getting. I don't know. Everyone kind of gets.
So it feels
cheated
a little
the whole time.
House of Cards
in a way, yeah. And so, but all legal, right? So all lawyers, all politics.
Gotcha. So real life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. New York apartments, big stuff. And so, but yeah, they in a way. So in the ending, in a way, they basically left the thing dangle where you hope you know where it's going, but they left all the loose ends going,
really?
Kinda.
So they just left it.
You want to talk about finishing a show late at night with your wife who's like, I can't wait to, like, she was pissed.
Wow.
Pissed.
That's what I love about this show. We're breaking down The Good Wife right now. Like, why not? You know what I mean? Because that's real life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the Good Wife, anything else you guys dabbled in?
Oh, films. Oh, man.
I haven't seen a film in forever.
No.
I had said on the show a couple weeks ago I was going to start this whole Spike Lee thing where, like, I just watch one director.
Yeah.
I just haven't had a chance. Haven't had time.
Yeah.
We've been doing the summer, like, pretty hard before school started. We've been hitting the pool, cookouts, sleepovers, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Come fall, you got school, depending on what the kids are into. And, we'll put on our winter weight.
Yeah, exactly.
Snuggle up with some bourbon and a TV at night rather than working out and You know.
What about anything you're excited about? Anything you got going on any news, any stuff, any things you've read about? Or?
There's plenty of things I am excited about. The ones I can talk about. Man, what gets me around here? What gets me excited is buying things. I've got a soft spot in my heart for like strings and orchestra, and for the past couple days, I've been spent immersed 100% in this producer's tracks that he would either get done by the Nashville Symphony Orchestra, or back in the day when he had them done to get around union issues, would go to the Czech Republic to get them done.
Yeah.
And just buy out the rights and do it that way. And so I've spent days immersed in these things, and they're outstanding, right? So the Czech Republic, the orchestra he had there, the room was huge. And you can hear it. You hear these amazing orchestras, and you're like, man. And his arrangements, so he was the arranger. He wrote the whole thing. And I guess composer, conductor, everything. Right. It's like, this is my baby. I'm going to produce this thing. So he would go over there, and he's literally conducting this orchestra. And so spending time with that, I love it. There's nothing that beats the real thing. But if you have to demo your stuff, you might as well demo it as close as possible with really good samples. Yeah. And recently I'd gotten some stuff that has just been awesome. Has like been able to, like, for me to sit down and demo a composition or arrangement for a song. Buying stuff, plugins.
So you have a whole new string sample library? Strings,
brass, drums. Although that being said, like the drum stuff I can do pretty easily here, but yeah, it's the speed thing that got me, and it's wonderful. Yeah, I love it. So new stuff. What about you?
Plugins are good. I don't know. I mean, I know nothing really too exciting going on when it comes to gear or things like that. I'm excited at some point to get this Kill Game trailer out.
Oh yeah,
and I think you're working on sound design for it, right?
Yeah. So we're going to be having a Foley day. Soon. Which is probably within the next couple of weeks, we'll be able to have a Foley day for it, knock out all the Foley, then see where it sits from there to see what we need to blow up, see how big things need to get.
Well, speaking of blow up, you told me to bring some guns today.
Oh, yeah.
So I've brought some guns. So
prop guns.
Yeah, we've got prop guns.
The look,
prop guns.
Yeah, the look on the founder, the studio founder's face when he walked into my office, and there's 3 pistols sitting on my desk. He's like, "Oh hey." I'm like, "Prop guns, look," and I opened the chamber and had to show him, and he's like, "Yeah."
That's how it happens.
Yeah, so
we've got these usually sitting around in our studio. Yeah, just so clients come in and we just let them know who's in charge.
Yeah.
So anyway, I wanted to take a second here to play a game. There's a common use that I learned about today for gun noises, which is actually to use a stapler.
Yep.
Which is pretty awesome.
Yep.
So I thought we'd play a little game on air with the listeners. Obviously, we'll you know what I mean. We're not gonna like have a call in. If somebody's on Slack and they want to try to chime in, they can.
We can have Bart shut his eyes.
Bart
and tell us.
Yeah, Bart is gonna play. Bart's gonna play gun or stapler. I wish we had a theme song for this.
Gun or stapler.
All right, folks, we're going to play gun or stapler. Bart is in the control room, turned around. He cannot see us. He can hear us, however, through some nice, sweet monitors. And we are going to play gun or stapler. So I will go first.
So what's the format? We just make a noise?
The format is we make a noise, and then we ask Bart, was it a gun or stapler?
Perfect.
All right, here we go. Sound number 1.
Bart, gun or stapler?
Or stapler.
Bart says gun.
Bart says gun. The answer is gun. You are correct. You are correct.
Well done.
Right. Well done. Actually, it's a some sort of
it's a 1911 style.
Yeah. Some sort of. I'm not big on. Alex would know. He's like a gun.
I know. Nut. We have guns in here, and Alex is
he's
gone.
Not here. So it's a gun. Good job. Good call. All right, here we go. Okay. Sound effect number 2. Sound effect number 2. Bart, gun or stapler?
Bart says gun.
Wow, he's 2 for 2.
Man, this guy's good.
Man,
This guy's good.
that was good. All right, here we go. And number 3. We're going to do best out of 5. Number 3.
See, the spring gives it away. The spring inside gave it away. He was correct with the stapler.
He was correct. All right, so we're going to do sound number 4. Here we go. Just a second.
Working
just
on
a second.
it. Working on it.
Chambers
Jammed.
jammed up. Here we go. Again, let's do it one more time. You are
Incorrect.
That was the stapler.
Bart says
And
gun.
we're going to go for the last one. This is sound number 5.
Oh, he's shaking his head in there. He's shaking his head. Bart says he's troubled. And he says stapler.
And you are not correct.
Incorrect. That was the
a
magazine
gun.
heading into a 1911.
There you have it. You got
There you are.
3 out of 5 right. That means you win.
You do
gun
win.
or
You do
stapler.
win.
Ba-dum-doo-dum-dum-bow. All right. Good job.
I need a refill.
Well, that was fun. So
That was a good game.
So anyway, you are going to be doing some Foley.
Yep. Gonna be setting up our Foley here, getting it. Gonna be I would hope that we'll be knocking it out in the next week or so. Yeah.
So let's
Foley's
talk
fun.
Foley. What is when people are watching films, when our listeners are out there, they're going to make their films, how much of what they're doing should be Foley and how much should be ambient right there on the scene?
Well, it depends on where it's going. So nowadays, if you're going to put a film out, if it's going to go international, you're going to have to be able to strip the dialogue away from your film and have your film live completely solely as something someone can dub over. So anything that you've done on site can't have any dialogue or anything that overlaps it. So the bulk of what you grab, if it's going to get distributed, the bulk of what you grab on site is useless, unless it's a scene without dialogue. And if it's been captured right, and the list goes on, and you can just put together like, well, it would just make more sense if we sat down and over the course of a day fix that scene. Well, yeah. So it depends on what level it's going to exist. If it's heading out for, if it's going to live on Vimeo, or if it's just if it's going to be controlled, if it's not going to have to be dubbed in any other language, by all means, you can get away with murder as we sit with all these guns in here. You can get away with a lot, but to make it clean, to make because the expectation of the viewer at this point
Is bigger than life.
is bigger, so it needs to be done right. It's granted, because I'm the one who also works at a post house, would prefer it to be all done from the ground up. But that being said, even with this last one we got, a lot of the stuff that was recorded, in a couple different reasons made this happen, but a lot of the stuff that was recorded for the film on site, we ended up just pulling down and working with to make it work for the film. So that being said, we were able to pull it out, but anything that was that dialogue was over, we had to fix. So we had to recreate, or we had to have the guy who was doing the sound design recreate. So it's from the ground up. It's my preference to have it done. That way you have control.
Yeah.
You have creative control at that point too. Your guns can be bigger than life. Anything that happens, you can create the world you wanted to. Because honestly, the real world doesn't record well.
Well, no, and it's just not as impressive.
No, it's gonna be huge.
There's been a couple times where like I've been with my wife and we've been somewhere and we've heard like a large blast or whatever or something.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, "Was that a gunshot?" I'd be like, "No, guns don't really sound that big."
Yeah, I know. It's like wah wah.
They're just like, they're loud if you're holding one, but other than that, it's kind of like not that impressive.
Yeah, no, it's not not as you would think. But I mean that then the other thing is honestly is what you're asking, and just to talk to the physical level of it, what you heard in the room and what happened in your head, probably are close but two different things.
Yeah.
And then when you're sitting in a theater or sitting behind your television watching, imparting that thing that happened in your head the minute it happened and transferring that to you as a viewer is a completely different thing,
Yeah.
Because if you were in my house and something loud were to happen, let's call it like a firecracker or a gunshot or something. Let's hope there's never a gunshot in my house. It would sound, it'd be big, it'd be loud. If you were to say, hey, here's the sound of a gunshot coming out of the TV, it wouldn't sound like that. So what can you do to make sure that your TV sounds big enough and loud enough like that? So you have to take certain liberties to make sure that it translates to the viewer in a way that creates the right emotional impact. So fake it.
That is the story. Fake it. So for the trailer, you guys are going to do the foley. You guys are going to do some scoring on it, right?
Oh, yeah.
For the film and whatnot.
Some original tracks, even some lyric stuff.
All right.
There'll be good stuff.
That's good, man.
There might be some cool recording places too. I think I might take it off site for some cool stuff.
If so, will you use your binaural recorder?
Ooh, I didn't even think about that. This would be for the music, honestly. There's a really cool space that might be fun to get just a acoustic guitar and vocal on that we might go remote on. We'll see.
Nice.
Just because occasionally I just need to get out of here and go do something fun.
Exactly.
But
That's
I think
cool,
you
man.
know this place too. We've had beers there before. At for the UC thing.
Where's that? You're not talking about the Echo spot on campus, are you?
No,
Or the Natural Echo.
No, at Neltner's place.
Oh yeah.
Keith doesn't know this yet, but
yeah.
I'm gonna hook up his tavern and make something cool.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What else? Anything else good? Anything else happening? Anything else the listeners need to know about?
Man, I need my list. I need to be more prepared for these shows. No,
Sometimes you just gotta wing it.
Prepared. Oh man. Well, no. Well, one thing I would love to. So the documentary a while back that we did about classical music, that we did the sound design and mix on, is coming out on iTunes.
Oh, sweet.
So it's available for pre-order now. That is a huge deal. The director's a friend and is extremely excited about it, and I expect that he'll be, hopefully, if all lines up well, be able to come in and talk about it. But
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's a really cool look. I mean, and not that it attacks schools or says, hey, music needs to be in schools, it needs to be a part of it. It doesn't talk like that. It really talks just about the state of creativity and mastery, and it's an amazing, amazing piece. So I'm really excited that something that first off we picked up the project, one, because I believed it.
Right.
I saw where it was, I saw everything about it, and went, oh my God, like I need in. And it's one of those serendipitous moments where you're like, you see it, and then they call.
Yeah.
And you go like, hey, well, this worked out. I was dying to be a part of that. So it's been released globally. Like I know it's been picked up in a couple different markets already, like in Europe as well as Japan, and now it's becoming available in the U.S. And I'm really excited about it because I think it's an amazing piece of work.
That's great.
So,
What's the film called?
Maestro.
All right.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So be on the lookout for that. And tell you what, as always, you guys out there listening, be sure to chime in on the Slack group. You just go to ftbpodcast.com, click on the Slack link. I've been getting a lot of requests lately. So we've got like over 65 people now on the Slack group. So
I need to get on that.
You should. Well, yeah, you need to be on there. It's fun. So hop on there if you've not had a chance. Follow us on @FTB Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, etc. Did you hear about the giveaways this month?
Well, no. What do you got?
Well, Benro was on the show last week.
Oh, I
and
did.
Victor
yes.
upped the ante, and they're actually giving away 3 things. So that now you have 3 times the chance of winning the August giveaway. So there's going to be 3 prizes to 3 different people.
What a good guy.
One of them is a S7 tripod kit, which is about a $400 package. One of them is a hi-hat. And the other one is a monopod. No, not a Zildjian hi-hat. The kind that Alex and DP crew will appreciate. And there's like a monopod, really cool monopod thing they're giving away. So it's pretty awesome. So if you're listening, all you have to do, it's pretty simple. We've had a lot of entries so far on Twitter. Mention at Benro Tripods, at FTB Podcast, and hashtag FDB Giveaway. And we'll put you in the cup, the hat, whatever it is we pull from. And we will not only pull 1, we'll pull 3 lucky winners, and that should be really fun.
Right
so
on.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Victor,
So,
good guy right there.
yeah. So we've got some good guests lined up for next month as well. And I assume Alex is going to be on the show again.
Sometime.
I'm not sure.
It might get to the point where he's just going to have to start calling in. Although he's working nights now, so I'm sure he's just now waking up.
So who knows? But we're working on getting some good guests on here. We got some of the crew from the Slack group. Like I said, we're going to have Josh on the show. He's an assistant VFX guy on the Get Down. And who knows who's going to pop in?
Yeah.
So
it'll be good. Come fall. It'll be.
Yeah, fall.
Yeah.
I feel like fall. I need fall right now.
I
don't like this humidity. Here in Cincinnati.
Insane.
Yeah, if you're wherever you're at listening, in Cincinnati, summertime is just the worst. It's humid, it's sweaty, it's just horrible. Yeah. And fall's going to be great. The leaves are going to start to rustle.
Football starts again.
Hoodies.
Seriously,
coats.
Hoodies. I was telling Bart earlier today, I have an addiction to jackets and coats.
Yeah.
And I have way too many. And no, I don't have. There's never too many. But that happens. Once we get out of this 90-degree, 100% humidity garbage, it'll be good.
All day.
It takes the edge off of being outside.
Exactly.
Of course, you can't go swimming in the fall, though.
Yeah, but swimming's overrated, let's be honest.
Yeah. I agree. I'm over here just playing with my 1911 this whole time. That was a shot from a stapler. That was definitely stapler.
That was a stapler, yeah. As always, thanks for tuning in. If you have not had a chance to subscribe and rate the show, you can do so at iTunes. And we'd love a 5-star rating. That helps us to get the word out. And guys, be safe out there. If you are attempting to play guns or staplers, make sure they are safe. And congratulations to Bart for winning
3 out of 5. That's pretty good.
Our first round of guns and staplers. So thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it. And as always, as we say on this show, cheers.
Cheers.
This podcast was recorded live at Sound Images Studio. Find out more at soundimages.com.